things are moving slow, but the full moon looks beautiful. It does. I went outside just now and I looked at it. I was like, oh my god, I have like a perfect view of it. I don't know if we're live right now. Yeah, we're live. Okay, hey guys, I got one of my favorite guests with me. I got Missy Hill. We're gonna play the intro and get started and get ready. We're about to get into insane topics, and it's gonna be great. So buckle up, and should be playing in. Okay, great. Okay, let me unmute. My screen froze. Okay. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. It's good. And yeah, like I said, I hit the subscribe button, guys. Just remember to subscribe on YouTube and on Rumble. You know, we're hitting close to 5,000 on Rumble, so we're getting back up there. And who I have with me is my good friend. She's a world traveler. She's a paranormal historian. She's a grid worker and an energy worker. I have with me the amazing Missy Hill. Our final show of the night of this triple header night features my good friend Missy Hill. As I said, paranormal historian, grid worker, and energy visionary who returns to explore the strange phenomena surrounding the Lion's Gate, the Hetheromagnetic Peak, and the increasing instances of geoengineering, which is, weather manipulation, bizarre weather, and earth grid anomalies. Missy brings a unique blend of spiritual insight, scientific curiosity, and historical research. We'll be talking about the Brown Mountain Lights, Linville Caverns, Western North Carolina grid points, and the esoteric weather manipulation that may be impacting the planet's electromagnetic field. It's the world preparing for a global energetic event. And with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Missy, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
Hey, great. Last time we did this, it was July 4th. We always do holidays and important dates.
Yeah.
And this is an important date because, tomorrow, 8/8, the Lion's Gate, I've been posting things about, great white lion grid, pictures of, I just started doing the AI pictures for fun. So, when I give it so much detail, it takes all day for it to make a photo. So that's kind of what I've been doing. It's like with the lion and with its partner and with the children. So I'm just having fun with that because I actually feel like there's an activation coming through, but I can't, necessarily draw it or articulate it. So I'm kind of telling it what to do. I mean, everybody else was doing that, but I'm just now succumbing to doing it, mainly because I started using it, to help me with my supplements, to figure out what I should take and what I shouldn't take and all those kind of things, and counting my macronutrients. Now I'm going to start using it for, resumes. I'm looking at ZipRecruiter on it, for jobs, just there's all different things I can do, with it. So
that's amazing. Yeah. And
we are it, though. It's a tool and we are it, but yeah. I want to share some crystal skulls that I have with me because I felt like these guys want to be seen. Okay. This is it's not amethyst, it's ametrine. So it's amethyst and citrine. It's called an ametrine skull that came from Highlands, North Carolina, in a store called Silver Eagle. And the name of it is Pantula. I mean, no, this one is Tarabel, and this one is Pantula, which is a smoky quartz. I was working with these guys today in the Gridwork mission that we did today with Indy for Israel for the Temple Mount. It was a super powerful activation and clearing, and it was just amazing. So when the replay comes up, you guys got to listen to the replay. And then I've got my Lumerians, which is Mana Kabbalah and Feria. Well, I've had these guys a long time. I just got they wanted to be seen today. And then this one is called Cutesy from my friend Joshua Shapiro, his sacred beloved Katrina that's passed on, and now she's in her ascended form as I forget how to say the name that she is now. And this one is Obi-Wan. So I just wanted to share these guys with us
Yeah,
today.
I just got one. I got this one. It's a mini one. You can see it has like some. I don't know what you would consider this. Is that a regular quartz?
It looks like a clear quartz, probably.
Yeah, it's like the rainbow.
Rainbows in it, though. Oh, what a powerful green color! Hold that up again, Robin. Move.
I got this from Rock Castaldo from his store, the Mystical Spiral store. He's a good.
Wow. Yeah, I caught the tail end of you and Rod last night because, I started it. I guess that was another show. When we do these shows, you guys, it's in no time because if it says 9:30, it may mean 10 o'clock, especially when it's on these sacred days. But I want to talk a little bit about the full moon first. Today's 8/8 and tomorrow's the full moon, which is the sturgeon moon, and it's in Aquarius. So we really are starting to see the dark side of Aquarius right now, the hive mind and all this stuff with people being deported and all kinds of there's just all kinds of weirdness going on. I just don't even know what to make of all the stuff that's going on. But I'll tell you, I really feel like the full moon, the new moon, just everything with all the planets lining up is affecting the weather. And have you guys seen this today? This thing came up. David Sereda posted this, and I saw this thing on Facebook. This image of ChatGPT. I forget what this thing is called, but have you guys seen this thing with all the planets lining up?
No. Oh my God, that's amazing though.
Yeah. I forget what they called this. I forget what they actually called this thing. It has a name, but we'll get into it because I'm just not remembering. It's some thing that they've put out in a signal out, and it's not supposed to come back till November. Just some weird stuff. But let me tell you what's going on in Western North Carolina because it's always good to have an update of what's going on here. So I have been staying in Black Mountain again because I was pet sitting for my friend Kim, who went out to the Maldives to go diving. So I was cat sitting 5 cats, and of course my cat Arthur, and Ron was here for a while. So that was for a good couple weeks, and it was so hot where it's not normally this hot here. And I'm talking hot like Georgia and South Carolina is hot. And a dry, humid, which it normally is more moist with misting. Now, since the weather's changed, but and this is the other thing I noticed, is that I have seen the soil lately looks more like, all the dirt I'm seeing is more like Georgia clay. It's this dark, reddish orange color that you see in Georgia and South Carolina. So my feeling about why it's this dry, humid, and I'm seeing all this is because the weather has definitely changed since Helene. And all the water that was here has displaced the rivers. The river systems are different. They don't know where they're going to settle. And all the topsoil is gone. And that's why it's like this dry, humid, because that soil held things in place to keep like moist, like like we heard in the Bible, like about the firmament. Well, there's the firmament above, but there's this layer of topsoil that I feel was holding some moisture and keeping the ground cool so it didn't heat up, so it wouldn't like hit where the sun would hit. There's nothing there. So it's like almost like it's not rock, but it's like devoid of minerals. So it's hitting clay. The sun's bouncing on the clay and it's making it warm. So there's like this humidity that becomes warm because it's like a dry, humid that we haven't had. Now, then it shifted, as you know, because of that Arctic blast or whatever, and it got down to the high 50s. And all it did was rain, rain, rain. And this was in the southeast. And and you even said up where you are, it's been raining constantly.
Yeah, and it's it felt like you said, like it feels like fall already.
It
It's
feels
weird.
like fall. I talked to my friend Angelica today too, and she said it feels like fall early. Now, mind you, it's going to get up in the 80s again next week, but there's something about the sky and the way things look in the sky that shifted. Because if you track the sun and how it is, it'll be in one space, and then all of a sudden it'll be in another space. And this brings up something my friend Jason, who lives out in Las Vegas, was talking about, and other people have been talking about. I think I saw it on Facebook or something, and I remember experiencing this when Ron first got that property on Edisto Island, and we were staying in Walterboro. How the moon, there's there's two suns and there's two moons, or even more, because we're in the matrix. And so let me give you an example. I happened to be swimming at night, and the crescent moon was, say, facing this way one night.
Yeah.
Well, the next night it was facing the exact opposite other way. And how does it go from this way to that way in one day? It doesn't, unless it's artificial, and it's like somebody's, you remember when you were a kid and somebody'd set up the for like slides or movies or whatever, and you do your hand in front of the light, and you kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Pretend game. Well, that's what it's like. It's like somebody is shining something up there, and it's almost like fake. We don't know what it's going to be.
Have you heard of that we live in like a binary solar system where there might be a second sun and then there might be a second moon? But then I've also heard that, like, deep conspiracy theorists think that, like, the government put a fake sun up there and a fake moon, and then some people think the moon's fake. It's like a Death Star. So there's so many different conspiracy theories. I don't even know what to believe.
Yeah, but something shifted. As you know, Indy's been talking about the white sun. Well, there is this organic activation of a diamond light sun, of a diamond light code that comes through at certain times. For me, it's certain numerical sequences, and maybe at sunrise and sunset. Certain times you can feel the organic sun, but then this artificial sun, it's like, it's to the point you go outside, it makes the sky white because of what they spray in the sky with the geoengineering, because they actually want to block out the sun, right? They want to block out the true sun. They want to cast some kind of grid over the planet, and so people can't see, right? And they want to have a control network of, the thought form, which connects into the dream realm. The whole thing you and Indy talked about, this whole dream realm thing that I've been talking about it for years, not in the way that she languages it with this beautiful, coded language that's coming in. I didn't have a language for it, but I kind of compared it to the movie that Leonardo DiCaprio was in called, now I forget the name of the movie.
Is it the one about him on the island, or I'm trying to think?
No. Let me just look that up again, because I pulled it up the other day. Why am I not?
While you're saying that, I'll tell you. So what happened to me last night is I feel like I got attacked. Like, I feel like something was feeding off me, because I woke up this morning and I was dead tired, and I slept until 11. Then I had an early show, and I had to hurry up and get ready for it. So like today turned out into like a mess. It seems like something was like feeding off me I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I know they dark magic, they can make things happen during a full moon more,
Yeah. The movie's called Inception, by the way. And what it's about is, it's like, there's the people that like work for the CIA or one of these 3-letter agencies, and they're creating a dream realm, and they're like putting somebody in it in the astral, so they can control them, and they can control the outcome of like say it's a corporate thing, and you want to force somebody to buy or sell some stock. I'm not going to give what the movie away is, but they show how you even they dismantle buildings and all this stuff in the dream realm. And he wants to be in there because his wife is stuck in there. It's just, you know, maybe nobody has to watch the movie, but if you Google the trailer, that'll give you some idea. But yeah, so this whole thing with the sun, the moon, and the way everything feels, it's like a blanket of like weirdness that covers everything, you know, and it's all, and that's where we can actually feel the frequency net and frequency fence of when they do what they're doing. Okay, with
Yeah.
the spraying and what they're doing with the sun, and you know, then there's also the black sun, which is the, you know, the sun behind the sun, you know, and you know, the Nazis were very interested in the black sun, and I think
Yeah.
that actually connects in with the swastika and all that kind of stuff.
And it ties into Saturn and stuff like that. Like, you know,
Yeah,
there's energy from Saturn, right?
yeah, the
Like something
black
like that.
cube. I was also picking up with this Lionsgate. I was feeling a positive activation of magnetics, which is the Hetharo. In May, you have what's called the Hethalon, which is the electrical peak. And this time of the year, Ashiana Dean or Yasha talks about this Hetharo, which is coming around around the same time as the activation for the Philadelphia experiment, which is that window of around August 12th, which is actually my dad's birthday. It's like from the 12th to the 15th. So we're in this ever since like the beginning of August, which we had the cross quarter day, Lamas or Lunasa, which is like a harvest festival, which is the midway point between the solstice, the summer solstice, and the autumn equinox. You know, every 6 weeks, you have it. If you draw a circle, you have 8 quadrants, right? You got the winter solstice and the summer solstice, and then you've got the equinoxes at equal line. Then, you know, from the winter solstice, you have groundhog February 2nd. We did a show then, right? Then you've got the spring equinox or vernal equinox, and you've got the summer solstice. Then after the summer solstice, you got cross quarter day Lammas, fall equinox or autumn equinox, and then after the autumn equinox, you got Samhain, and then after Samhain, you have the winter solstice. What energies did I pick up the Temple Mount clearing? Indy wants to know. I've had this activation with the neck and the eyes. We were talking about the whole thing with the eyes was coming in today. The all-seeing eye, the eye of Ra, the eye of Jehovah, the eye of Yahweh, the eye of Odin, the eye of, you know, Allah's a bad one, has to really be cleared. The eye of the all-seeing eye that's on the dollar bill, the Illuminati eye, all this stuff, and the balancing of our eyes. I've noticed I've had a lot of dry eyes, so there was this whole thing of like this fluid being restored and coming in to my eyes and my neck, and especially when Noko started singing. I mean, I did a few things. I did some breathing and a chant, and there was other people bringing in, you know, different things about, you know, it was interesting to bring in some energy of J.J. Hurt talk and the keys of Enoch, the
That's a
book of
great
Enoch.
book. Yeah.
You know all this kind of stuff, and Indy was working with some chants and talking in Hebrew, like the Ein Sof Or and the Kadosh, and it was like, oh my God, wow! I mean, I do this some of this work here with the people I'm staying with. They're into this, you know, into the Hebrew aspect of things. So it's interesting that was coming forth and grounded, because the Temple Mount is really important, because I totally resonate with what Indy says when she said it, that this was the original Stargate 10 location, and that it was hijacked and moved over to, you know, with the whole Sumerian thing into Iran, Iraq. It was a
Yeah.
hijacked thing. That is the original place where the Elohim would have landed with the my crown chakra is vibrating. Oh, that's so great. where the Elohim would have landed with the Hebrew tribes and would have come in and descended onto the Temple Mount. I get chills as I say this. So the reason I was posting all those pictures that I was talking about, because that it connects in with the great white lion grid, which is that vertical connection. Okay, because you've got the vertical, which is the magnetic staff. It's the divine feminine. It connects to the blue and the green, the blue ray family. And then you've got the golden eagle, which is the horizontal grid, which is the wings of that eagle, right? Which is, in that area too. Iran, Iraq, and all that stuff, the Middle East, and, connects in with ancient Sumeria, Egypt, all that stuff. That is what's been hijacked through the Seraphim. Okay. So we're bringing that back into restoration, because when we bring that back into restoration, it's also clearing Michael. It's clearing the lines of Michael, the ley lines of Michael, the dragon lines, and that connects in with the whole King Arthur piece.
Wow, that's amazing.
And what's really weird is somebody sent in our group that the Sea of Galilee, there's some article, let me see if I can pull this up, about the Sea of Galilee actually turning to blood, like blood red. I think this happens sometimes, but yeah, let me see if I can find this now. I don't know if I can find it or not, but yeah, that was, I can't always find things when I want to find them, unless I have them set aside, because I wing it. I fly by the seat of my pants. I don't know exactly what's going to come out of my mouth. But if anybody wants to look that up, they can. And then just drop it down in the chat. Look up Sea of Galilee turning to blood. There's some weirdness with that. Yeah. Is she still in the chat? Is she still there?
Yeah, Andy's still in the chat. Yeah. She said there's something about the blood in the sea.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can't see the chat. I saw it for 1 second, but I can't see it anymore.
I think you got to log in with your YouTube or your Google name. You know what I mean? If you log in, you'll be able to see the chat. Like
I don't want to do that though, because I don't want to screw this up. Because this is on my iPad, and I've never StreamYard from my iPad, so I don't want to mess this up. Because if I try to change something, I might be booted out. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to trust that it's okay as it is. But
I really wanted to go to that Gridwork thing today too. I feel like I missed it. Like something was on purpose. Like not by me on purpose. But like something was messing with me to like I said, I woke up, I got attacked. But like I really would have liked to go to that. She sent me the link too. I just
I wish you had. It was so powerful, and I know I was supposed to be there. I was ripe for it and ready for it, because I needed to do something, because I felt like, I sit in the 3D for too long. It drives me crazy, because I just felt my whole body vibrating. I mean, like every chakra, it was clearing. And I even felt this, there was a point where I felt the mist of the mist of water coming down. And I wonder if this connects into the mists of Avalon, where the mists of water were like coming down like this, kind of like you have the shower mist on you. But not only was it going in my hair, it was also coming out of my head the other way. So it was like these plasma light codes of something talking back and forth within my energy field. And I noticed that Noko brought up Morse code. Okay, I am going to pull this thing up. Just give it a minute, because I sent this to the group chat, and I do want to pull this up. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm going to play it for you.
Yesterday, 3 Atlas sent a message to space, and it is throwing the scientific community into a tizzy, and you won't believe what the message message says. I'm going to tell you, but do you think we should respond back to it, or do you think it's dangerous? So, as you know, 3I Atlas is that interstellar object that is passing right by Earth in November. And the world's top scientists have been saying, hey, look, this doesn't seem like an asteroid. It doesn't look like a comet. It actually looks like it may be an alien craft, an alien vehicle from a different galaxy. Well, the satellite dishes in Chile yesterday received the message. And the head scientist there said it was like a Morse code-esque message. It was radio frequency, and we didn't know how to interpret it or crack the code, is what he said. So they ended up plugging it into ChatGPT and saying, hey, can you solve this? And it did, and it spit out what the message is saying. And it says, hello, friends. Don't be worried. Don't be scared. We watch Earth. We watch you. We return to elevate Earth. And then it went silent for a bit. And at the end it said, hang tight, friends. Hang tight, friends. Twice in a row. And so my question is, are they friendly? Do we respond and say, hey, when are you coming back? Is there anything we should know? Or do we just stay radio silent? But this changes everything about humanity's future and what we know, that we are not alone.
You know what's weird about that too is it brings up when I remember that George Norrie had Joshua and other people do things where it was like sending a message into space. Do you remember that? Do you remember when George Norrie did that experiment? I think that was around. I think that was around the time of that eclipse, maybe around 2017 or something. I can't remember exactly. So if we sent a message back then, you know, then it takes time for the message to return back to us. I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I think it's something real. You know, I think it's like, you know, I think NASA's lying to us about everything. So, you know, it could be anything, right?
The reason that was important is because Noko also brought up something like she felt like Morse code was going on in her head or something, her face or her eyes. I can't remember exactly what she said, but he said Morse code, and she brought that up like it was a Morse code. And I felt this prickly, like, now, mind you, I had acupuncture yesterday and I had some needles in my head. I've actually been wanting them, like, say, do 20 on me, which is right here, you know, connects with the pineal gland. Then you've got the antler ones, which I think is, I think that's the gallbladder meridian. I'm not 100% sure exactly what that was, but whatever I had going on with my neck, when she was saying, my neck was wanting to undulate and do this, you know, this wave motion. Yeah. So Rob, you're wanting to do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it wants to be adjusted. But anyway, back to what I want to tell you about North Carolina. I know I'll circle back around. So when it was hot, Ron and I decided to go to the Linville Caverns because I remember I've told you that when I went the past few times I've been in Linville, Mount Mitchell's been closed. Linville Falls been closed, and I went to Grandfather Mountain. I think we talked about that before, I think, around 4th of July. And I said it's an international biosphere reserve, and I feel there's an underground base there. And it was super hot there. So that was the only place I could access because that part of the parkway is still closed from Helene. And I get that there's a reason for Mount Mitchell being closed besides Helene. Besides, because I remember I told you before that I happened to be up there, and there's the grave of Elijah Mitchell, and there's a lot of, you know, magnetic anomalies. There's things with a compass that gets screwed up. And when the obelisk, which was the Vance Monument in Asheville, you know, named after Zebulon Vance, and I also said this before, that Zebulon Vance looks a lot like J.D. Vance. If you compare us side by side, that the obelisk can't talk to what's up there anymore because it was removed. So it scrambled the frequency, which is what I had actually been praying for from my grid work since 2012, that the frequency would be scrambled to clean it up. Well, they closed the spring off during COVID, and it wasn't just because they didn't want dogs peeing in the spring. It's because there's a reservoir that people get their drinking water at the bottom of the mountain that you can see from when you're driving up on the parkway. Well, they've closed the whole thing now. And from our perspective, it doesn't look good, but from a higher perspective, I'm getting that it needs a healing, and that's the reason that Mount Mitchell is closed, that nobody's supposed to be up there. The public's not supposed to be up there for some reason right now, because it's almost like it's like part of where Midgard connects into Asgard is what it is, because it's the highest point on the Eastern Continental Divide. It's 6,685 feet. It's,
Wow.
84 feet. Yeah. It's very tall, so it's very important to the grid work of the whole East Coast. It's holding timeline memories for the whole East Coast, so it's about linking in with it and seeding it with positive timeline memories, clearing war codes, clearing civil war between black and white, masculine and feminine, north and south, rich and poor, all the polarization, revolution, Revolutionary War, Civil War, all these war timeline codes need to be cleared from the magnetics, as we talk about the magnetic peak, Hetheromagnetic, where that energy from the sun, the magnetic particles of the sun are coming, not just the electrical. That's what this time is about. So that's shut down. And also Linville Falls, I couldn't figure out how to access it, so I haven't. And when it's been hot like this, we've decided that we wanted to go in the caverns, because I hadn't been there in years. I don't think I had been in the caverns in 10 years. So I went 2 weeks in a row. I wanted to go. We went and had a great salad bar at this Scottish restaurant called the Tartan. And then we went into the caverns, and I showed you some of the pictures of the caverns. I can just pull them up again, because I sent it on Facebook to you, just so people get an idea of what the stalactites and the stalagmites look like in this beautiful green color.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. And how there's a place in there called the Bottomless Pool. And that bottomless pool, as I was linking in with it, is connecting into the inner earth portal, inner earth hub gates, and it connects actually into the aquifers that are in Florida, and it connects into the aquifers that are in Mexico, and it goes down and it connects to all the waters of the earth, because it's that deep, because it's bottomless. Because the guy was joking and saying, don't drop your cell phone. And it's actually, the cavern is in a place called Humpback Mountain, and Humpback Mountain is one of the important places for the Brown Mountain lights. I've seen them over Humpback Mountain and Dogback Mountain, because what happens is when the energy, or when the mountain contracts, even rock, it expands and contracts. So when it contracts and the conditions are right. I was just talking about this with my friend too. I think there has to be the right amount of humidity. Humidity is important. It can't be too humid. Can't be too hot. It needs to be a little wet, but it can't be too foggy where you can't see because of the fog. And the electrostatics have to be right. So you have to have a little bit of electrostatic, and you have to have humidity. And when that mountain contracts, that energy contracts, because you have all that water running through on a bed of crystal, because you've got the Linville Falls there. What happens is that mountain, it discharges, and that's how I feel the Brown Mountain lights are made.
That's amazing.
It's actually it's a phenomena that the earth does. The earth makes these balls, this ball lightning, when the conditions are right, and it probably makes it more often than you see. I mean, you can't always see it when the conditions are right, because if it's too, like I said, if it's too much humidity or fog or rain or snow, you're not going to see it. And I didn't even attempt to want to go up there this past time because it's been so hot. I didn't want to go in the daytime, and I don't know if the road would support us going up, because I want to find out from somebody how the road conditions are before I even go up there since Helene, because it's like you really need a 4-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive car to get up there anyway, to get to Wiseman's View.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. So do a lot of people think that the Brown Mountain Lights are UFOs? Like, is that what they think? It's like UFOs?
They can take the shape of a UFO, because when I first saw one, and our footage was on, it was on Weird or What with William Shatner. So it's been on the History Channel and the National Geographic Channel, I believe. It looks like a UFO. It can take the shape of that, which means an interdimensional being uses that as a battery source. Okay, the Earth makes it, and if it's interdimensional, because I don't even think aliens are extraterrestrial. I feel it's interdimensional because they travel through portals and like wormhole tech. They're not coming light years away. That doesn't work. That whole thing doesn't work. There is no time and space, and they just come from another dimension. So they're interdimensional, whatever the beings are. And if this Earth is like Russian dolls, like you see, we look at things in outer space like being in a planetarium, but what if everything's stacked on each other? Like all the dimensions are stacked, and everything that we're looking at out there is really in the same space. But then when you shine light on it, it opens it up. Kind of like, the old children's book, you'd open it and it'd be a pop-up book. It'd be flat.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, I remember
that book up, and then it would be like this. That's the way this reality is. At least that's what I feel. It's flat. That's where you get this flat Earth theory. It's flat. The dimensions are stacked. You open it up, and then it becomes multidimensional. So that's what we're dealing with. And this is appearing in other places, and we're going to see more anomalies. Like my friend Jason, who actually in Vegas, who had the object that he was looking at was blue, and it's like this royal blue, like I call it the Melchizedek blue, because a lot about the Melchizedek came in the Melchizedek order. Okay, I got to turn this AC back on. It's hot. And I've been hot all day too. Even though it's cool, it's like everybody was saying that this was activating them, they were getting hot. It's like the energy is making us warm.
I agree.
Does anybody have
it's really hot in here.
Anything in the chat? Is anybody?
And does anybody have any questions? We can put them in the chat, and we can,
But here. The caverns brought me back to other caverns that I've been in, and how it feels being in a cave and a cavern is nurturing. It's yin, it's the divine feminine, and it's like being in the birth canal of Mother Earth. It's like you're in the bowels of Mother Earth. You're in the birth canal of her. It's very interesting. And when you turn off the lights, you've got a beautiful cavern near you, Rob. I think it's not far. It's called Lunar Caverns.
I'm trying to think of where that is.
It's in Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure. It's one of the most beautiful caverns I've ever been in. The biggest one I've been in is Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. That's huge. That is very, connects in with like I feel the secret space program and very like military stuff. I mean, I feel it connects into the bases. And all of these might, where there's a tunnel system. I mean, this one too. This cavern in Western North Carolina is pretty small. At least you can't go in all of it. But there was
Yeah.
one time that I was actually standing on top of the parkway somewhere, and I said, "Oh my God, I can feel the caverns underneath." And they said, "Yeah, you're right. It's right under you. The cave goes right under these mountains." And there's one in Tennessee I've yet to go in. It's called Forbidden Caverns. And then there's another one in Tennessee that I've been in called the Lost Sea, where you can take a boat ride, and it's this pristine aqua blue water that's so beautiful. And the trout are blind, because if you stay in that environment for too long, you would lose your eyesight, because when you turn the lights off, it's pitch black. No sunlight can get in unless there's a hole from somewhere else.
Wow.
And Raw Castaldo was bringing up certain gemstones last night, and when I heard him talking about the different ones, I thought I wanted to add carnelian, because carnelian is actually a stone that's orange for the second chakra that comes from the cave. It's from the minerals in the cave. You know, each mineral has different things. Like zinc resonates for blue, and it might be manganese that's like orange or brown. I can't remember the colors, but I know that, you know, manganese is important, and zinc, and like cobalt. There's these different like mineral makeup that's in the cave, and some of the water will drip on you, and when you just let it like kiss you, because they say if the water lands on you, it's like Mother Nature's kiss, and it's good luck. And I tasted it. It was very like soft. So I could tell the mineral content was very high. So I did that a few times. I put it on my face. It felt like it was very activating. It was extremely soft. So it had a lot of magnesium. And I could tell that if you drank the water, it would be good for you. It would be alkaline, you know.
Wow.
For your body.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'd like to know where these caverns are in Pennsylvania. Like, I got to go check them out. You know, like I think someone said in the chat. Let me see.
Lunar Caverns. Look that up. Lunar.
He says Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. I know where Lock Haven is. I can. Let me see. It's called Linville Caverns. You said.
Lunar. Luray. I can't look it up. I don't want to look anything up. I can look it up on my phone, but I don't want to do it, because then I'm like, you know, diverted from what we're doing. But
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Yeah, that's really cool. I gotta check this out. Like, oh no, they're in Virginia. It says
it's in Virginia.
Luray Virginia.
I think it's right near the Pennsylvania border.
But they look beautiful. They look amazing. Yeah, like West Virginia and Virginia, and Pennsylvania, they're all like right. I rode through them on my way back from Florida. It was amazing. I mean, the hills are amazing. You know, I mean the mountains. I mean, the mountains are just like, you know. Tiffany in the chat says her body warms up when she's let me put this camera up. She says my body warms up when I activate my chakras before divination. You know, I that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were saying it was getting warm. I feel like it's getting warm too. You know, like yeah. This is from
recently is yes, I have been to Geoengineering Rock. Oh my God. I have a story about that. I think I've talked about that before. Geoengineering Rock actually is she's saying Silva. It's actually in Cullowhee. But Silva's not far. I've been to Silva, which is near Waynesville and near Dillsboro. It's a place, we've talked about it before. It's petroglyphs, and it's part of my tour that I call the Vortex Conspiracy Tour. Judaculla is a giant, and the giant Judaculla, there's a place on the Blue Ridge Parkway called Devil's Courthouse. Okay, and if you get off the trail, there's like $1,000 fine. and there's this whole story that the Cherokee have about Judaculla having maidens dance for him. Him being a giant, I feel he was a Nephilim. And I told the story before, I know I've told it on this show, about going to the base of Judaculla Rock, hiking to the base and hearing the thumping under the ground. Do you remember me telling that story, Rob?
I think so. Yeah.
About we're picking blueberries. On
Yeah,
the
you did that. Yeah.
215, we took 215 down, and we were going one way, felt this frequency, found $17 on the ground, went the other way, went in the water, took our crystal skulls, and I saw Indians, native people in like war paint, like something going on. And I got to Solly, was hiding from Andrew Jackson in the in that area. If you know anything about the Cherokee removal, there's in Cherokee, North Carolina, there's a play you can go see that I saw years ago called Unto These Hills that, talks about the Cherokee removal. But yeah, Tassali was hiding out there with his men. And then I went back there another time, and Perry's there too, the Pisgah Astronomical Research Institute. I've talked about that before, and that's a place where when Ron made deliveries there in the truck, there was a man there that said he saw UFOs all the time. It looks like a mini outcropping of HARP, and it has radio telescopes like Arecibo. Because I've been to Arecibo in Puerto Rico too. Oh, and that's where the tunnels, they had the tunnel, and one time we went in the underground tunnel, and then the other time it was shut off, and they made a big hoopla about why we couldn't go in it when I went there with Joshua and Lauren. So it was very interesting. Yeah, so Judaculla Rock's a very interesting place, and it has a resonance. So if you clap when you're there, you'll hear it echo.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the way the rocks are. It'll echo and project back to you, almost like it has great acoustics. Which brings me into the Biltmore State. There's a spot that you stand inside the Biltmore that you clap and you hear that too. Because I was gifted with a friend of mine just gifted me a pass. So it's like I got my Biltmore pass renewed because I hadn't had one in a while, and I've been going to the Biltmore too. And I was sending you pictures of the Biltmore and how beautiful it is because Last of the Mohicans was filmed there. See, this is like the gardens. If you can see what that looks like. See, I sent you those.
Those are beautiful.
And I went there in the rain and nobody was there, and it was gorgeous. Now, of course, there's stories about the place too. John Podesta, had the pictures, the art pictures of the pool, the creepy pool at the Biltmore. Just Google pictures, they look like the pedodontia pictures of kids in the pool at the Biltmore. Oh, you're muted, Rob. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. He was the guy from Pizzagate, and I think he owned Comic Ping Pong or whatever, where it shows a picture of the aliens playing ping pong. That's a deep conspiracy about him. Yeah, he's connected
Chester
to it somehow.
Benningham from Lincoln Park is supposedly his bastard son. If you know the whole thing about Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, I remember years ago when that whole thing, I was ready to decode that whole show. A friend of mine, I got a show up and running about the whole Chris Cornell thing because I'm a Soundgarden fan, and we had all the information ready to go, and everybody else downloaded the same information we did because we had all these technical things, and that's like, why even bother? It's like, it's so much work to get all this stuff, and then, I don't know what happened with all the tech stuff. It was just, oh my God, just crazy. So
yeah. Well, I was seeing if there was any more questions or Someone said there's an underground pool there or something.
An underground what?
An underground pool.
Pool? Pool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. The indoor pool at the Biltmore. Yeah. And then there's a place called the Halloween Room. But, I go for the gardens. I mean, the house is great too, but I like to go to the gardens and walk around because it's real pretty.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was, I mean, in the Great Flood of 1916, it had its issues, but it's like it was untouched during Helene. I'm sure Helene touched it, but because they have so many people working on it, I didn't see what Helene did on that property, where, in other places it's been not great, like, Swananoa. And when I went to Linville, there was like 3 different bridges that were out. So it feels like in some ways it still hasn't energetically recovered, like to do an event, like, like at this time last year, the Appalachian Starseed reunion was going on, right?
Yeah.
Where I met
remember
James and stuff, right? And it just, this year Old Fort took a hit. So I don't even know what that property looks like now.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. So Puckow had a weird question. He said, "Let me see here. We'll go pull it up. I was looking for. Where is it? It went back. It went. Oh, he says. He says. He says. I don't know if you're gonna know anything about. This is a weird question. He says, Missy Hill, anything on the stoned ape theory holding energy like ghost or Mandela effect replays? Any relation to Earth or Mother
Anything
Gaia?
on the what? Oh, I did want to talk about Mandela effects. What did I want to say about that? There was something I was going to say about Mandela effects, but I don't know what he's talking about. The stone tape. I don't know what he's talking about. The stone is like a tape holding. Ghosts.
I think he means the stoned ape theory, but he types wrong sometimes. Like it's something with his typing. Like,
well, this is what I've come up with this whole thing is with Helene. Okay, we did a show a while back called about the changing of the ghost guard, which means that the grids have held certain energy, certain storylines. Like I talk about in my Biltmore Village Mystery Tour, which currently I haven't been doing because Biltmore Village hasn't recovered, and I don't know if if I do that tour now, I have to redo it anyway because those stories from the past aren't as valid. I mean, they're still valid, but now the energy has shifted. So the ghosts from the past, that storyline's moved on, and now it's about what happened last year, September 29th of 2024 is more, a bigger story for the present than, 40 years ago, which we hear about when we go in the Linville Caverns, or 108 years ago from last year, which was 1916. So wow. The people that have lost their lives and whatever, and that's being buried, it's like with that topsoil runoff, it's being buried. And back to the topsoil, I saw this post on somewhere, Facebook X somewhere, that when we did the show on 4th of July, I didn't even know we didn't know about the flooding because it was happening then, that flood in Texas, right?
Yeah.
And then we found out the next day because somebody even commented and said, well, do you know about the flood in Texas? Well, I found out that the flood in Texas, the eclipse in 2017 and was it 2024? I can't remember when these eclipses are, but it made an X. One went one way and one went the other way. That is right where the flood took place. And I also saw that they said a certain bill or something was passed that this happened like on 4th of July because the oil companies own the the mineral rights. So when the runoff, all those minerals from the water, which again is this whole thing of the minerals in the topsoil, and there's, all that good stuff is gone. So I don't know, but I don't understand exactly what they're asking, but I feel I almost feel like this weather that we're experiencing is some kind of Mandela effect, like they're doing something with, with time. Time's very manipulated, and the fact like they're trying to push for fall to happen. Like, what are they going to do? I've been praying for Western North Carolina and the Carolinas in general, and this whole Southeast. I'll include Pennsylvania too, to have like an invisibility cloak like Harry Potter. I'm wondering like when I was staying in Linville at the motel, why Harry Potter was on and why it showed up a few times. I think it's for the whole thing of the invisibility cloak. To have that invisibility cloak over the area to not be seen. We had our turn. We don't need a storm. We don't need any more storms.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, that's the last thing we need. I mean, especially this year. I mean, like last year was bad enough. I remember there was 3 big ones last year, right? There was the one that it was supposed to land heavy, but it didn't land heavy. It was that wasn't Helene. That was the one after that.
Milton in Florida that they were prepared for. Before Helene, there was Debbie, and I remember when we did the 4th of July grid work last year, it was Beryl. That was the first one that I remember going through the Gulf of America was Beryl.
Yeah.
Any other questions? And they can reconfirm about that. They can say again, but
this is Puck Elf again. He has a question. He says, kind of same question. Do earth energies and minerals and crystals and things affect time portals and stuff? He says.
I feel like I was talking about when I was in the cave. I do feel that the minerals have some kind of effect. That, magnesium, when they're the positive minerals for our health and lightening up, where they kind of make us alkaline, it feels definitely more feminine, and it's like restoring the yin energy. It's interesting when I go for acupuncture and they do the tongue diagnosis and they do my pulses. They're always saying, the something in the shoe, that your pulses are slippery, and then if your tongue is this way, like if it's, cracked and this and that, it's like having a yin deficiency. I always have, when I go in, a yin deficiency, and I always feel like I can't get enough yin energy. And when we had all that rain, I mean, part of going in the cave, it felt like it was yin, having that water on me, because it's been, even here in the mountains, it's been too young lately. It's been very young. And then going into the Biltmore, when I was in the rain, I felt like it was hydrating. Like I feel like I can't get enough hydration. I can't get enough minerals. So I feel the minerals are important for us getting better sleep. This whole thing with the sleep cycles and the dreams, do you wake up not only feeling like crap because you were in a place that you didn't want to be, but you have like your mouth is like cotton and you feel dehydrated and you wake up with headaches. Have you had that?
No, I haven't had that. Not yet. I mean, I feel I wake up like energy drained for sure. I don't know why.
Are you thirsty? Like, are you parched? Like your mouth is dry when you wake up?
Yeah, that happens too. Yeah, that does happen too. Yeah. Jeremy Wood in the chat says that's me, and Drummond says he wakes up angry. So like people are definitely feeling it.
Yeah.
So
one thing to do is to take magnesium before going to bed. That would help. Take some flower essences, take magnesium, take, this Celtic salt. This is distributed real close to here.
Wow.
Rob, I'm going to take some right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Does that work?
This company is right in Asheville where they distribute this.
Yeah. Wow. What's the difference between Celtic salt and Himalayan salt? Is there like a big difference, or is it like, because I have a bunch of Himalayan salt, or is the Celtic salt a lot better?
I'm using both, but I went back to this too. I think it's better for when you're trying to get minerals for like electrolytes. I think this is better for cooking. Himalayan salt's fine, but for electrolytes, I swear by this.
Yeah, I got to try that for sure. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions in the audience?
And I got some cards here. I thought we'd pull Honor of the Lion's Gate. Oh wait, I'm constantly and stimulated. I missed it. It's gone now. What did it say?
He says he's constantly.
Yeah, magnesium. Yeah, definitely have to have magnesium. Okay, Rob. So where do you want me to pull a card from?
What kind of decks do you have?
This.
Oh, I love that deck. Yeah, it's a.
That's a different one. This is another Black Cat deck.
Maybe the center. Maybe
that's
the center.
I was getting the center. Seven of Cups. That's all about finding community, emotional support, your emotional support system. We all need that. And grounding it in the physical and letting it amplify out and multiply. And balance the masculine and feminine. We have to balance our own masculine and feminine template. That's our hierogamic union. That's what today is about.
Wow. That's probably what I need.
Right hemispheres of our brain.
That's probably what I need, really. Yeah, I need it. I was reading the chat too. Someone said grounding. Yes,
definitely grounding.
Yeah, they say grounding really helps, right? I mean, I do that, but I need to do it more.
Mm-hmm. Earthing, you mean? Walking around barefoot, earthing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is weird? This year was so dry. I had 2 ticks on me this year. I had a tick in my hair. I still remember where it was. It's like it didn't embed itself, but it really bothered me. I mean, and I got that at the motel. And then I recently had a tick on my leg. And I wasn't even deep in the woods or anything.
Do you think do you think that can cause Lyme disease?
Oh, yeah. I think it can because I know people that have had it. But it didn't embed, so yeah. Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe I have Lyme disease, because I have like low energy, I don't know. I'm not sure, Should we do a reading for someone in the audience? Should I ask someone if anybody wants a reading?
Sure, we should.
Anybody want a reading?
Yeah, we'll do a reading, but I did want to bring up some other fun thing, because I had Netflix, available that I was watching, and I watched a show. Well, there's 2 things I watched because I do these cruises. I watched one called the Trainwreck Poop Cruise about the Carnival Triumph that became the Carnival Sunrise. And I thought it was the Sunshine, but it was the Sunrise. But the other one that I thought this group would be interested in was called Storm Area 51. Remember I told you about this?
Yeah.
Because it was a meme that happened sometime in September. I don't remember what month. I thought it was September of 2019. It was a while ago, but it became viral and it became a real event. And I actually know people in that area, like Joshua bought property in Rachel, Nevada, and there's a place for real called the Little Alien Inn out there.
I want to go out there. I want to go out there and see that, because I've been an Art Bell fan for years, and I've heard people talk about it. I've heard people talking about people going out to the desert and seeing them fly stuff at Area 51, and all that stuff. Like,
so I just want people to watch that or Google the trailer and just to see what people think. But did you end up having James Gilliland on today?
Yeah, he was on earlier. He was really good. Yeah,
I
he was
didn't
really
see
good.
the link come up. I
had him on, and I had Peter Maxwell Slattery on this evening. They were both good. They were both good shows.
Okay,
they were
I'll
really
have to
good.
go back and look for that then, because nothing came up as in my. Sometimes it comes up in my news feed, and sometimes it doesn't. It did not come up for whatever reason. But I'll go back on your page and look.
They both went really well. Like I just like I have 2 tomorrow too. I got to do in the evening, but I was supposed to go downtown tomorrow and film somewhere in the city of Pittsburgh, but like I'm not sure if I'm going now. I mean, 'cause
So
it's weird.
What does James think? Why that area is so active? Is it because it's similar to like a Brown Mountain Lights? That's what I wonder. Mount Adams, if it has the same.
I think Mount Adams has some real stuff going on. Like I think it's like I think it's the real deal. I mean, like not that it, no. I mean, like I think it's like real ETs or something. Or I don't know. I don't know. I can't. But I've seen enough stuff. Like I've seen them watching the craft, and then they ask the craft to power up, and the craft power up. It's like it's so weird. Unless that's the military. I don't know. But I mean,
well, I think the military is interested in it too. But I'm wondering. If it has the same components. I mean, it has a lot of water and a lot of minerals, and that's the reason. And then you have the dry side, so that would be the side where there's moisture. And if you went further inland, east, that would be like more desert, because if you look at the Pacific Northwest and how it is, you've got, the rainforests and the mountain ranges, and then it's dry, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I think weather and environment, as far as, all the elementals plays a big part in the phenomena that we have. Not that the desert doesn't have phenomena too, but it's different. It's that type of phenomena. The dryness makes it. Like Skinwalker Ranch. Why does that have what it has? I mean, I almost wonder about that place if it actually connects into Area 51 through the underground.
Yeah, and it's 11:11 right now. 11:11 on 8/8. It's I caught it. Yeah.
Cool.
But you're right. I think something. Someone told me there's a big Pleiadian craft underneath Skinwalker Ranch. That's what my friend Michael Lynch told me that. He died. He passed away. He was a great guy. Like he was. I mean, he I didn't know. I never met him in person, but he just used to come on my show, and he died somewhat young, like 48 or 50 or something like that. But he used to have the amazing conspiracy theories, and he told me that's what he told me. He said, yeah, there's a Pleiadian craft under Skinwalker Ranch. And I was like, oh wow. I mean, I don't know if I believe it, but I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's weird. I think that whole thing. I mean, I think there's the military, bases that actually could connect into like the Area 51 and the Nellis and the other ones. I mean, I just feel through the underground that that's what makes the cell system go. I mean, that's what I think. I could be wrong. I could be way off. But anyway, let's go ahead and do some readings. We'll shift it up a little bit here and see what we
Jeremy went real quick. He says, don't forget the Hoover Dam in Grand Canyon. Yeah, that's there's Egyptian writing in there.
Oh, Hoover Dam. Okay, I got to say something about this. I used to go in, have dreams about Hoover Dam and remote view it because I knew it was powering up some stuff, and I knew that there was bodies there, and it was like a bog for weirdness way before people were talking about it. I mean, it was like a meeting point, and I feel like there's Mandela effects with the Hoover Dam. There is something. And what's really weird is, remember in Vacation how Chevy Chase was holding it together with gum. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. From National Lampoon's Eye. Which Vegas Vacation? That was Vegas Vacation.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites with Randy Quaid, and that was a
Yeah,
good one.
yep. They don't
Yeah,
make them like they used to make them. I'm telling you, it was so great back then.
that was a great movie. That really was. That was. Remember when him and Randy Quaid, they're out in the backyard, and Randy Quaid has money buried in the yard, and he's trying to pick it up, and because Clark has like a gambling addiction, and he won't stop. Yeah, that was a great movie. That was man, that was and I remember the buffet they went to was like real. Yeah, it was like real that. Yeah,
and Wayne Newton, remember Wayne Newton in that?
Yeah, Wayne Newton. Yeah, and his wife loved Wayne Newton. Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, I wonder, is Wayne Newton still alive? Is he still do Vegas?
So. He's probably still playing out there too. I think
Wow.
so. Let me ask. Let me see, because I don't know, because we lost quite a few people. Hulk Hogan lately.
I know, right? And there was it was crazy.
Osborne. Let's see. Wayne Newton.
Man, this was a long day for me. This was a big one. This is
Wayne Newton's still going. He's 83 years old.
Wow.
Yep. Okay. Let's do this, and then we'll sign off so you can get some rest, and you can go for a walk, and you can do whatever.
Yeah. Does anybody want a reading real quick before we go? Anybody in the audience would like a reading real quick?
Oh, one other thing we wanted to put out. It was possible that you said you might go to the Mothman festival. Possibly. You don't know.
I'm going to try to, yeah. When you said that, I messaged the people in my Pittsburgh UFO group and I asked them about it. I asked the girl Megan. I said, I'm looking for some people to go to the Mothman festival with, because it's like it's very it's somewhat close, 4 hours. It's not bad, and I want to see it. I haven't never been there, so I'd really like to see it. Yeah, that should be fun. It should be real fun. So Puck Elf, do you want a reading? Oh yeah, Puck Elf would like a reading. By the way, I wanted to tell you, Puck Elf, the reason why it said stone, he has a brain injury. You know what I mean? He wanted me to tell you that. Like he's dealing with he's a really nice guy. He's really
his avatar picture there. I love that.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's just like
What kind of a brain injury?
Do you want to tell her, Puck? Like, do you want to? Maybe he'll put it in the chat.
Was it from an accident or something, or I don't need too much information. Just I'd like a little.
People are really pissy in the chat tonight for some reason. Like, I don't know what's wrong with people, but like, there's a couple people in the chat that are just like, I don't know. I just let it go. It's a full moon and people are gonna act crazy. You know what I mean? No, just like comments here and there. I don't let it bother me. It's like I could ban them, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to ban anybody.
You know what? When I've worked in physical therapy type of things, when I was or exercise therapy as a massage therapist, when I worked a couple times in nursing homes, I would go in and I would help people rehabilitate their hips or knees or whatever. I never saw so much crazy and then I figured out that, Alzheimer's and these, by the way, I'm not diagnosing, treating, or prescribing. This is theoretical practice information for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is my worldview. I saw that it was the breakdown of the collective mental body, that their mental faculties would start breaking down, and that's why they'd open up to entities and they'd start talking to disincarnates.
Wow.
Okay, Puck, did he give us any information or not? I guess I'll just start.
It's self-inflicted from family trauma.
What?
He says broken skull with a lump of wood.
Connect more into the heart. People say this is heartbreak. It isn't, but it's like about, let's activate the heart. See the trifold flame of activation the heart. What I was getting today, this is another thing. We were seeing the eye that looked like the dragon's eye when we were looking at the map, and the Temple Mount was below. And what I was seeing, that we need to see with the heart instead of with just the eye, third eye and the eyes. We need to actually connect our eyes to our heart and see with the heart.
That's
So
amazing.
activate the 3 primal sound fields within the heart. And then I get the Hierophant, and here's the all-seeing eye. The left eye of Horus. Today, for me, it was the left eye. Clearing the left eye, which connects to the right brain, which is clearing the divine feminine, clearing the feminine side. Clear the feminine side of the teacher, the feminine teacher, instead of just the masculine teacher. Bringing forth the divine feminine teacher. And the Queen of Wands, which is the divine queen. Connect to spirit through the divine feminine. Sometimes when an injury happens, you can use the injury for neuroplasticity, for the openness. If it hasn't totally coagulated, gelled, if there's a problem, you can use that issue to open up those neural pathways.
Spiritual Ascension says cute cards. She likes your cards. These are the cat cards, right? Or no?
Different cat cards than these. You're thinking of these other ones too. Those
ones are real cool.
This is the kitten deck. Now we've moved to big cats. And this is the 4 of Cups. It needs to be emotionally grounded. Ground all this information in.
Love that. I love that. We have a couple more people who I'm reading.
Okay.
This is from Kason. Kason's all the way from Sri Lanka, and
wow.
And we'll do Kason, then we'll do Spiritual Ascension, and then we'll call it. This is but some
and
of these
then there's
people.
Something I want to share in the Ascension glossary. It's called the Ashalam. I just want to anchor this in the Ashalam caverns. Wait, let me find that again. Ascension glossary. Let me pull that up because I want to just read this. Okay, Qasim. Okay, cool. Does he have?
Yeah, he's from Sri Lanka.
Does he have a question or not?
Kason, do you have a question? I think the chat's a little bit behind us.
Ace of Swords. So that's bringing in something new. That's connecting mentally, but I'm feeling Excalibur energy with this, and a balance of the light and the dark. Balance of masculine, feminine, the gold light with the black, which is that gold coming from with the black sun behind it, the positive side of the black sun with the gold frequencies coming in and connecting mentally in the newness. So that's what the swords is. It is the mental body. So it's like a new opportunity, newness.
Yeah, he also wanted to see what you could pick up on his health. Like if anything you could pick up on that.
A lot about balancing duality, because now we have the Chariot, and see, this is the black and white, and moving forward quickly. So this is about quick, swift movement, and it's like a big risk-taking thing in the light and the dark. So 2 cards about balancing polarity. I'm going to shuffle this more and see if I get something. Something fell out. King of Pentacles. Okay, this is your masculine card. So this is about using that energy, a balance of the light and the dark, and anchoring that in the divine masculine template as the King of Pentacles, to physically anchor it with the attitude, because the King is an attitude card. So you want to bring in the attitude of kingship. I feel that from him anyway. I could see that in past timelines. I see Egypt. And become the magician. Oh my God, great. Using those elements, becoming the magician. The time is right if you do this. It's good. balance your mental and emotional. We all need to do that. That's good for me to hear that, to balance the emotional. Don't let the emotional get out of hand. Don't let the mental, the thoughts, slow the thoughts down. Like, breathe, still the mind. Get the monkey off your back, so to speak. That monkey mind.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the last one, we have spiritual ascension. And let me see what she said. She's a woman. I don't know her first name. She told me her first name earlier. I can't remember what it was.
She's got the Eye of Horus in her. She's got the, looking at that now, I'm seeing the right eye of Horus. Wow, a lot about Egypt tonight. Oh, and this would also happen with Indy's thing. So when we were talking about, I brought up Bastet and this thing about the snake, you know, like in the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston. And who was the one that was the Pharaoh? What was that actor's name? Do you remember?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I knew. I did know.
You know who it is. But I can't think of his name right now.
Paul Newman? No, not Paul Newman.
No, can I look it up? You look
it
up. Look it up, because it's important. It's important. But anyway, you know how they have the snake crown, right? Coming out of the crown chakra, they wear the cobra snake on top of their head.
Yeah. I'm looking
when
it up.
I brought that up, Indy brought up, Saqqara. And when she brought up Saqqara, I looked it up and it said it connects to Memphis. And then I got Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Memphis. You know, I'm going to Graceland, right? I'm going to Graceland.
Yeah. I was a big Johnny Cash fan, but that was an Elvis fan. That was Elvis.
Well, that's, Elvis is in Graceland, but it was Paul Simon that did that song. I'm going to Graceland.
Oh, that's a good one. I used to love the song. If you be my bodyguard, I can be your long lost pal. I can call you Betty, and Betty, when you call me, you can.
Yeah, that's a great album. So who is that? Who's the actor? Tell me who the actor is.
Well, here's the cast. It was from 1954, The Ten Commandments. Yul Brynner played Ramses.
That's it. Yul Brynner. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yul Brynner. But anyway, so when I brought that up and I brought up Memphis, I saw Memphis, Tennessee. I saw the New Madrid Fault again. I saw the Mississippi River, and I saw southern Illinois, because that's where a lot of the Egyptian artifacts are. So because of the Eye of Horus, there's a lot of Egyptian stuff coming in, and also because of Bastet, which
yeah.
I'll show this.
And for people that don't know Bastet's an Egyptian goddess. It's like a cat goddess, right?
Yeah.
Bastet?
Yep. Ace of Wands. Okay, she's got it too. Balance. The gold light, the black, clearing the black sun, bringing from the antiparticle black sun, the gold is coming through with the new beginnings, but this is with the ace instead of the sword, so that's connecting the spirit. Ace of Pentacles. So, oh my God, new beginnings for her. Look, to anchor whatever's going on, this balance physically. So it's balance of the masculine, feminine, balance of the mental and emotional, balance of the physical and the spiritual. Be willing to take a risk. Knight of Pentacles in the physical. So if it's starting a new project, go ahead and take whatever risk, because this is an attitude of believing that you will be successful and that you are supported. Just slow it down in your mind. You can run with the opportunity, but don't get ahead of yourself either. Look at timing is everything, right? Divine timing.
Yeah.
Three of Wands, it's harmonious. Whatever is being worked on, the environment feels harmonious. The sun is shining. 3 is always about the tri-wave, the power of 3, right? The triquetra. the father, mother, child, the masculine, feminine, neutral, the positive, the negative, the neutral. 3, the power of 3. It feels positive to me.
Yeah, it does. She said the Trinity, and someone said the Trinity in the chat. You know.
So what I wanted to talk about, the Ashlam Chambers, is a Celtic Aryan solar dragger founders that are reuniting the planetary body through the triquetra Celtic time traveling Ankh body. I just brought up the triquetra, which is the power of 3. And they're rebuilding the dark matter rainbow bridge portal access into the Gaian matrix and the Hyperborean timeline. The Celtic Aryan solar dragon founders have restored their cosmic timekeeper Celtic master Templar through the Celtic heart of Zion, the triple flame. So there's all about this triple rainbow, triple. And that is Camelot. Okay. This energy is what the round table of Camelot is, this tri-field flame, this flame of Elasa, as Indy was talking about, you know, which is the flame of plasma colors.
Wow, this is amazing. I mean, do you feel like that? I said to Ray, I said earlier when Ray was doing readings, I said that, like, you know, they say during the let me read this again. It's like, you know, it says as the mysterious Stargate opens tonight, energy floods the planet, making this a perfect time for manifestation, clarity, and quantum alignment. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you think we can use this Lionsgate to, like, you know, turn it into something positive? You know.
Well, we can do that for ourselves. Can we do it for the collective? Only if the collective is agreed. I think we have to have 51% of people. The problem is, what happens is we do this and then they do timeline wars. So what we need to pray and believe is that we seal the gates off where they can't go in and manipulate the stargates anymore. They can't keep going back in time and changing the outcome of the work that we've done. That's what has to stop, because we are doing it. But then what happens is it gets undone, and we can't have it get undone anymore. So I'm going to ask, what do we need to do to keep that sealed off so it's not undone? Have somebody tell me where to pull a card from. Ask in the chat.
I always say middle, maybe middle. Or maybe bottom. I don't know. What are you thinking? Bottom, maybe?
4 of Cups sitting in a circle and the 4 directions. So I guess it's the circle of the magician, the 4 directions, and anchoring it and sealing it off. We have to actually energetically seal it off so they can't sabotage what we're doing anymore. So seal it off in your sleep space. We have to remember to do that when we go to sleep at night. And we will be successful. And it's the party. See, this is the party card, the 3 of Cups. It's the power of 3 again, and it's the emotional 3, so everybody's happy. It's the happy, joy, kumbaya card.
I love that. That's a perfect way to finish up on. That's great.
Yeah, and then to end with the Page of Wands, which is like the innocence of connecting with the sun.
That's so cool.
Rob, this was great. We'll have to do another one soon. I guess we're looking at, later in August or September. And
Want to do 9/11? Well, that's
9/11. Perfect. Yeah.
I mean, we usually do holidays, but that's I'm trying to think.
I think that's an important day to do it. Definitely.
Or isn't Labor Day coming up?
The day that I thought we should go to Charleston. I actually said, Indy, you know what? Maybe 9/11 is the day we need to do it. because that's holding war codes.
Oh, Puck Elf wanted to know what kind of how do they get the deck that you're using? Like
How?
like what? Yeah, which deck did you use tonight? No. Like, yeah, like what's the name of the deck that you're using?
This is the name of it.
Oh, sorry. I was the Black Cat Tarot. I had my.
Yep.
That's cool. Who makes that? Is it like? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so just look up the Black Cat Tarot, guys. You know.
Okay, Rob, this has been awesome. So we'll get this posted everywhere, and I love you guys, and we'll see you all soon.
Do you want to tell people how to follow you or anything like that, or
Yeah.
you want to give?
Yeah, thank you, Rob. I forget. I do readings. I mean, I don't promote myself because right now, I take care of my father at times and I travel a lot, but I do energy work, readings, grid work, something called the Quantum Infinity, and I don't have a website right now. Oh, I was going to talk about this with like hosting, like back in the day, the Melchizedek hosting is like, the original one was GoDaddy, but I think I got to get a website again and have, the AI help me with it. I don't have to do it myself. It'll do it for me. Right?
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to make a website. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
or something to get me. But for now, just the best thing to do is friend me on Facebook, Instagram, X, and my email is Hill, Hill, Night, Nite, Vision, Vision @gmail.com, hillnightvision@gmail.com. All the things I thought I was going to do, like go to California and things like that for that certain event, I don't think it's happening. And, they're grounding airlines too. Like, what is it? Is it United Airlines is grounded? They're having these. It's feeling like not the time to travel unless you're driving. That's what it feels like to me, at least in the country. And maybe if you're going to fly, you go from a bigger airport and you fly out of the country, like to Europe. But I don't know about the domestic flights right now. I just don't know what to think. What do you guys think about?
I think it's kind of weird what's going on, like you said, with all the deportations and stuff like that. Like, like, I don't know. I hope they're not deporting Americans who've lived here forever, like. I don't know.
I don't trust any of it. I can tell you that. I think a lot of everything we're seeing is a psyop. So,
yeah,
we're the change we've been looking for. We can't look to a leader outside to fix anything. We need to do it. It's an inside job. We do our stuff, and then that manifests on the outside. That's what I think.
I agree 110%, and I've always kind of felt that way. I just kind of got caught up in like, when the like, yeah, but like I feel
the lesser of two evils is what we're dealing with always.
Exactly, and they and I thought there was promise in that, but like now it's like I don't know, like it's not what I wanted, like I don't know, it's surprising for sure, like, but we'll see. I mean, he still has time to change things around, so All right, Missy. Well, thank you. And guys, this was the 4th stream I did today. So remember to share this out, it, share all the videos out from today, like them. If you can't
buy Rob a coffee, buy him a ticket to the Mothman thing that he wants to do.
Yeah, that'd be great. But thank you guys all for watching. Everybody who watched all the shows today, and I appreciate everybody's support. And thank you, Missy. You're awesome. I always love doing shows with you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. I have 2 more shows tomorrow, so I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. And thanks everyone.
Send me James Gilliland. I want to hear that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go smoke a joint now.